This one, it's a Linus video. It's, I tried your darkest PC fantasies. I have no idea what this means. But the very title intrigues me. And I'm thinking it means, like, the darkest, like, experiment you want to do with the PC that you don't know if it will kill your computer or not, but you really want to try. That's what I suspect this is, which could be really fucking interesting. Oh no, Morris, you will stay. Oh yes, you will stay. So, this is not tech core. Bear in mind, this is not tech core. This seems like not malware, like actual hardware stuff. Like it's like hardware. So it's like this is not like, okay, let's throw 1,000 viruses on the computer, because they've done that before to test like antiviruses to see how computers react. This feels like hardware experiments with PC. So it's not like your darkest PC fantasies. I suspect this might be like PC experimentation. And I'm really curious. So let's check out.
You ever see those videos with thermal goop all over the CPU socket, or people jamming things into high-powered fans and thought, what would happen if I did that to my PC?
Yeah.
Well, that's bad. First of all, you could get hurt, or worse, you could damage your computer. So instead of risking it, let us indulge your intrusive thoughts. Like, what would happen if you used your monitor in the Arctic? Can liquid crystals freeze? We're about to try all of this and more, but, my friends, heed this warning. Do not try this at home. Instead, try this segue to our sponsor.
Ridge.
Okay, drop everything. Our LTT circuit board Ridge wallet collaboration is live.
Interesting.
Designed by our very own Sarah Butt, it is sure to stand out and hold up too, thanks to Ridge's meticulous focus on quality. Grab one today using our link in the video description.
That was cool. The Ridge wallet by the collab, they get a small screwdriver with that. It's kind of cool.
In theory.
Grumpy, you like it? You like the Ridge wallet? I've kind of thought about getting one, but they're expensive. I have thought about getting one of them though. You like it? Okay, maybe I'll have to reconsider it again.
Modern high-quality pastes are both non-conductive. In theory, modern high-quality pastes are both non-conductive and non-capacitive, so this might work?
Okay, but even if it's non-conductive, wouldn't that block the pads from touching?
My theory is that the mounting pressure is going to be so high that it's going to kind of mash it out, kind of like when you mount a heatsink.
It's not mashing out as much as I might have hoped, but there's a lot of mounting pressure on the CPU, and these are older, larger pins. Guys, this was already a motherboard that was a little bit flaky. Don't worry, we don't want to sacrifice something that works perfectly. Works enough to find out if it works, though.
Shut up. No way.
Clearly, we haven't put enough thermal paste in. Oh!
No.
For round 2, we're...
Okay, here's my question. A slapped ham video. Moros, I have no idea what that is. Maybe. Here's my question. What is the benefit to doing this? Like, okay, it's great that it works, but is this supposedly does this supposedly help cool? Because this would not help cool down the CPU by putting, but it's transferring heat in the wrong direction. That's the problem. It's transferring it down. It's not transferring it up into the heatsink. Because that's the whole thing with the point of the thermal paste is the thermal paste goes on top of the CPU, the heatsink goes on top of that, and the thermal paste is designed to draw heat away from the CPU into the heatsink away from the CPU. This is basically just pulling it within the CPU. It's not transferring it anywhere. So I'm trying to figure out, maybe he will explain it, maybe he won't. Like, what is the point? What is the ever-loving point of doing this in the first place? Like, why Why was someone curious about this? Was it just like, okay, can it be done? And if that's the case, well, fine. If it's like, will this actually work? Fine. Not looking at if there's any tangible benefit for it.
Bringing out the big guns.
All right, that should be enough that she's gonna squeeze out like toothpaste or peanut butter. No, this is crazy.
It just says don't put thermal paste here.
Okay, I think this is our final stage here. Our ratio of thermal paste under the CPU to thermal paste on top of the CPU is extremely high.
It fills the microscope of voids in the metals to let. Well, yeah, but in this case, it's doing it in the wrong direction. That's the problem. It's going in the wrong direction. It's not moving it away from. It's not moving it away from the CPU.
So we should probably get some more paste on top.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You know you've always wanted to try it. No!
What if we run something like actually CPU intensive, like Cinebench or something?
Sure.
It works.
62 degrees on the CPU. She's flying.
How is this allowed?
I don't know, but it's great because we kind of need this system for our next intrusive thought. Inside this environmental chamber is a liquid crystal display, but just because they're liquid at room temperature doesn't mean that they are always liquid. They can freeze. What is the rated temperature of this monitor? It doesn't say, but most are rated to 0 degrees while in operation and -20 while in storage, so that seems like a sensible starting point. This is so gross. It feels worse than even just the motion blur. Like it almost feels like it leaves an imprint of the starting frame on my eye before anything even starts moving at all.
It's like you're permanently recovering from a flashbang.
Yeah.
It's like that exact effect.
It reminds me
This
of
is not a surprise though. This is not like so much intrusive thoughts because people have done this before. This is, this has been done before. So none of this is a surprise on an LCD screen. This is just, we have this chamber, fuck it, let's do it. Cause I'm pretty sure there have been plenty of examples online of people that have basically put their LCD monitors in freezing conditions to see what's happened. So this brings nothing new, honestly.
Where it leaves that previous image imprinted. That's what I was looking for. My question now is, what happens if we go lower? There's no water in the display, so we don't need to worry about the liquid expanding as it freezes and breaking the monitor. So, it's starting to get to the point where this is so nauseating that I need to look away from it for a minute. But that's great because...
And here's the thing. Obviously the resolution is blurry. It's obviously looking blurry. I'm not seeing the after effects that he's talking about where you're seeing like an imprint of the image. I'm not seeing what he was talking about.
So we don't need to worry about the liquid expanding as it freezes.
I'm really not seeing that.
So it's starting to get to the point where this is so nauseating that I need to look away from it.
It's blurry as hell, but I'm not seeing this lagging. Yeah, it's choppy. It's choppy, but I'm not seeing like an imprint left behind, like he was talking about. Now, it could just be the angle of the camera that's not allowing for us to see it because we're not looking at the monitor straight on. We're looking at it from an angle. So yeah, it's through glass then through a recording. Like, I can see the choppiness and the lag and the blurriness, but he's making it seem like there's after images on the screen. And that's not, I'm not seeing. But again, it's through glass, through camera lens, it may not just be translated.
What's going on here? It shouldn't be the crystals themselves freezing. Those should be good down to as low as -60. But what does happen is they start to gel up, which increases the resistance that the display interface needs to overcome in order to twist them. So what we're looking at here is the most extreme example of how...
Okay, there I saw it, yeah. Now I'm seeing it. Okay.
Twist them. So what we're looking at here is the most
now I'm seeing it on the backgrounds. Yes. Now I'm actually seeing it on the background. When he just did this just now, I was able to see it. I was looking for the after image like on the weapon, but not the backgrounds. Now, like you can see it in the still frame here. You can see the after images there. Yeah, okay, now I'm seeing
extreme example of how pixel response times affect the gaming experience, because both of these
slowing it to 50 because this was slowed to 50% speed. That's what allowed us to see it.
Of how pixel response times affect the gaming experience.
Yeah,
because
when it was
both
slowed,
of these
absolutely.
are running at 60
now
refreshes per second. It's just that the pixels take so long to reach the new state, we end up with this blurry, flashbangy, drunk gogglesy image. Oh
yeah,
man.
in real time, you can't really see.
This monitor is almost passing out.
Well, it's not getting overheated, Spartan, so... I mean, going to hypothermic shock, maybe. Maybe he's going to hypothermic shock.
Make it to -40. This is damn near unplayable. You see that? Just like with a flashbang. I almost had, yeah, whoa. It looks like it's kind of changing in the background a little bit on some parts of the display. Whoa, did you see that? The very top of the display is still refreshing, but the rest isn't. So again, what we're seeing
also
is
true, Opifo. This is also true. Like, he does this for a living. He looks at different monitors and judges them on refresh rates and things like this all the time. So yeah, he absolutely does have a far more critical eye than we do. You know, I look at my monitors, I'm not looking at it critically for refresh rates or things like that. You're absolutely right there. We don't have the same critical eye that he does.
Refreshes is typically from top to bottom, so it's going like, okay,
good question, Brownie. I wonder if he's going to show it.
Oh, here we go. This is really interesting too. Now we can see that the red pixels, or subpixels rather, seem to be having the hardest time twisting. So maybe their viscosity is higher as temperatures go down. We're only at -32 right now. I really don't think we're gonna make it to -40. I think she's done, bud. Can she even get a static image up there? It's kind of starting to kind of
now it's dying.
Something.
Now it's absolutely dying.
I think it's fair to say she didn't make it to -40. Come on out, little buddy. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, look at that. She only had to get a little bit warmer on the
There you go. There you go, Drowning. Yeah. As soon as a little bit of heat goes in there, boom, it fires right back up. And that's the thing. I've seen this before with when you get what is it? The whole reason why there are screensavers, where if you keep a static image on the screen, like say you have a movie going and you pause it and you have that static image on the screen and the computer does not go to sleep. You don't have it going to sleep. It never goes to sleep. It never turns off the monitor. And like say you just leave it that way for 24 hours, you'll get that ghost of an image on your monitor. When you come back and you close up like the video, the ghost of that image will seem like it's imprinted on the monitor. Thank you, burn it. Yeah, Kanito. I could not remember the word for burn it. Correct. The simple solution, turn off your monitor for a couple hours. Literally just power it off for a couple hours, maybe for 24 hours. The burn-in will go away on modern LCD monitors. The burn-in does not last. It will go away. Same thing here. You just basically warm it back up again and boom, it's just fine.
Very front for it to be able to display an image again. I gotta get this unplugged before she gets frosty though. Good job, buddy. Here's a fun one. You've probably heard about solar flares and how
What laptop is that?
Good job, buddy. Here's a fun one.
What fucking laptop is this? Where the trackpad is huge and on the right side and looks like another mini LCD. That's interesting. That is a very interesting design. The laptop he's financially involved in is framework. He invested in framework. I don't think this is framework. This does not look like framework. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but it's interesting. I don't know how comfortable it would be to type on because you're going to be typing. The problem I can see is because the typing surface is so far to the left, I could see that being uncomfortable. Whereas most people are used to the keyboard being centered on the screen. No, this is the mouse, Chaos. This is the trackpad. But I could see that this keyboard, because it's so off-center to the left, that it's very uncomfortable. Because most people like to be centered on the keyboard, which is centered on the screen. This would probably be uncomfortable. Yeah, oh, Geronimo's, I know. Framework, yeah, they do have a large one, but Falcon, yes, I'd say, Falcon, are you referring to the size of the trackpad? In that it would be good for people that are disabled? Or the positioning? Because the size of the trackpad sure is great. I'm looking at the positioning of the keyboard is, well, yep, for what, Falcon? I kind of said two things. Because for most people, this might be awkward. For disabled people, maybe the keyboard being off-center like this would not be an awkward thing. Perhaps. I don't know. I think it would be awkward for me.
You've probably heard about solar flares and how dangerous they can be for computer systems here on Earth. And, well, we don't have a sun, but what we do have is a CT scanner from Lumafield that we can use to blast cosmic-like X-rays at stuff like, hey, this computer. All we gotta do is close her up and configure it.
A CT scan is not the same as cosmic radiation. This is not the same thing. Like, a solar flare spits out so much concentrated cosmic radiation. A CT scan is not going to get anywhere even close to that. I mean, oh yeah, it's, no, this is undoubtedly very expensive. I mean, it's to see how it'll handle intense X-ray, but this is not anywhere close to a solar flare. But I don't know, it could be interesting.
A couple of things.
While Linus is working on that, I have some.
I could see it frying the hard drive.
While everyone knows that you should eject your USB before you pull it out so that you don't corrupt your files, what would happen if I pulled out maybe the whole SSD? We're currently playing Valheim, and it's installed on this drive right here. We're walking around the world, look at all that. What would happen if I just... And look at that. We're still playing the game. Now.
Okay, I know the answer for this one. Is because it's working off the RAM. It's still working off the data that is currently in the RAM. I've seen them do this before. They've talked about this before. So it's like it pulled the data off the SSD. It pulls data off the SSD, runs it through the RAM. And so when you pull the SSD, it's taking the current data that it still has in the RAM. And once you go beyond the data that is stored in the RAM, that's when it will cack on you. But it will work with whatever hard drive data is still stored within the RAM. And if you've got a shit ton of RAM, that could be not an insignificant amount of data. But that's the reason. He's basically working off the residual data in the RAM.
When you're using your computer, the stuff that you're actively using is going to be sitting in RAM. So we should be fine for now. We can look around, we can jump, we can punch stuff. Like, we're still playing the game. But the moment that we have to load something...
Exactly. Boom. That's when it dies.
It goes away. But, you see, Windows is still running because we haven't removed our boot drive. So what would happen if we did that? Look at that. It's crazy. It still
okay, yeah,
works.
Same thing.
That's because Windows is mostly running in RAM right now. You can actually get entire operating systems that will run exclusively in RAM, but this isn't one of them. And you'll see that when we say try to look at File Explorer.
Yeah. The moment it's basically holding a static image, and so the moment you try and go beyond the static image that is stored within the RAM, then it cacks. That's what happens. So I didn't realize that the SSD that he had, I thought that was like the boot disk. That's when he pulled this SSD down here, I thought this was the actual boot disk. I didn't realize that this was just the game file disk. But yeah, when he pulls the actual onboard, yeah, it's all the static image of what you're currently working on Windows again is stored within the RAM. And but the minute you try to go off of the static image that is baked into the RAM at the moment, that's when it's going to fail.
In RAM right now, you can actually get entire operating. Look at File Explorer. There could be some very important information traveling between the SSD and your RAM, and it could end up causing severe harm to your system. You're probably going to be okay, but hey, why are you tempting fate? That's what we're doing. We tempt it. And it's for those very reasons that you probably expect that when we pull out our RAM, it shuts down immediately. Ooh, spicy. This is what I mean. You don't know what you're gonna screw up, and now we're in a repair mode. Let's hope that it doesn't slow us down too much. Obviously, taking RAM out's gonna be a problem, but what would happen if we just, put RAM in? I'm so surprised. I thought that we would plug it in, it would trip a voltage monitor or something. There'd be a short circuit because of the connecting of the pins and whatever. We don't have 16 gigabytes of RAM right now. We're still...
Yeah, and I've done this before, where I've put RAM into an operational computer. A computer is running, I will add RAM in. It doesn't kill it unless the RAM is a bad RAM stick. In that case, it will kill the computer. But you'll need to usually you need to reboot the computer for it to grab both sticks of RAM at that point. Exactly. Well, Johnny Wells, I'm going on the assumption most people may not know what posting means. That's why I just said reboot the computer. But yeah, you need reboot, the computer needs to repost, and then it will see the other RAM stick is installed and actually access it.
Stuck as if we were running off of the single DIMM. Can I take this one out now? Hey. Maybe that was a fluke. Let's try this a second time. You still get the RGB. We've seen some crashes and stuff, but I just feel like we haven't actually done any damage.
That's why I said reboot, Blurred. Yes, reboot meaning restart the computer. Yes, that is what reboot refers to. Yes.
Damage. What if we delete System 32? And delete. It's that easy. Except for it isn't. Windows actually doesn't want you to break your own PC, and so it asks for trusted installer permission to delete the folder, and it won't let you get any further from this. Even if you're an administrator, it doesn't matter. But I know.
Brownie? You want to see me in a tight pencil skirt, do you? Is that something you want to see? You want to see the cute anime cat girl with a tight pencil skirt? Really? Well, something to think about, isn't it? And hi, diabetes.
Of a tool. The command line that will let us do anything we want. Watch as I, in one simple command. And then when I also say yes to all. It's a lot of red. Unauthorized access exception. Why can't I have a computer that just listens to what I tell it to do? I think I know a guy who knows about computers and making them do what he wants.
Well, Tanito?
It's Jordan.
Kanito? Not in the way you might think. Because remember, I don't do the spanking. I'm not the one that does the spanking. Just remember that.
Yes, the command line. One final reminder before we do this. Don't. Deleting System 32 will harm your computer. If you understand this warning, hit the like button to proceed. Just down there. All right. Open up the command line as an administrator and type this in. Congratulations, you now own all the folders in System 32. You've massively compromised the security and the functionality of your PC. But we're not done yet. Let's confirm this kill. Use this next command to change your access control level. And now, we just delete System 32. Okay, so we removed a lot of files. But why is Windows
I am but a simple anime cat girl, Falcon.
Whoa.
You've angered it. This is all your fault.
Control Shift Escape, Control Alt Delete.
Wait, I missed it.
Okay, so we removed a lot of files. But why is Windows still working?
What if we try like doing
I
something?
can enjoy some light spanking.
You've angered it. This is all your fault.
Control Shift Escape, Control Alt Delete.
Oh.
Failure to display security, and I've never seen that before.
Me neither.
I like the just X.
Just X.
Do you want to try rebooting it?
Yeah, okay.
Automatic repair.
Oh my.
It's
Oh,
so
it's
bored. It can't do anything. It's booting into here.
That implies that the recovery files were in System 32.
I think this computer's sufficiently borked.
Okay. My work here is done.
Yes,
Say
you've done a
borked.
wonderful job.
Now it's my turn. Adam's making me do this.
It'll be fun.
Oh God.
Don't worry, it's lead-free.
Yeah, this isn't as satisfying as I had hoped. Not only is it not fun, it's a waste of solder.
Yeah, really is.
Let's do something slightly less stupid.
PC fans at their core are basically just an
No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yes, Geronimo's. They stabbed that poor defenseless solder. They moited that poor defenseless solder. I know. I know. We will hold a funeral later. Honestly, I don't know what they're expecting. It's freaking solder. It melts when you hit it with a hot iron. You know, when you hit it with the whole purpose behind it, when you hit it with a soldering iron, is it melts. So I don't know what they were expecting.
electric motor. You apply some power to it, it spins your fan. But if you are the one that spins it, suddenly your electric motor becomes an electric generator. Let's test it. Here we have a multimeter connected to a fan, a tachometer, and some compressed air.
Now let's spin it and kill the motherboard.
Given that we only saw like 6 volts on the multimeter here when we spun this fan up, I think the motherboard's going to be fine. These are 12-volt fans. The header can probably handle 12 volts. Here's the graph of our fan speed. It's currently spinning at 2,000 RPM. And if we just give it a little bit of encouragement here.
There we go, look at that.
Interesting.
We need the graph to go higher.
All right, we're at 7,500 RPM.
No.
For whatever reason, it thinks it's going 1,000 RPM now. That is not correct.
Huh.
It's fine. It's totally fine. The RPMs, for whatever reason, went down to like 900 RPM when it was going over 7,000, but I'm guessing that's just the math getting screwed when it goes way faster than expected. But according to this, it went up to 7,600 RPM, and she's totally fine. I don't think you have to worry about this too much. But you know what you definitely have to worry about? Water. I don't know why I said it like that.
Technically, water doesn't damage your computer. Pure water isn't conductive. It's what's dissolved inside the water that counts. This isn't pure water though, so this is probably pretty bad. So Adam's currently playing Crysis, and he's just gonna keep playing until this computer stops
he's using
working.
Crysis?
Is it still going?
It's going fine. Yeah, we're doing totally fine.
See, spraying water on computers again can be fine until that shmoo builds up. Unfortunately, everything's got shmoo in it, so at some point this will give out. Is it still going?
No.
Oh.
Game over.
There it goes.
Would you like me to keep going?
Yeah, I think we should stop.
Okay. The fans are still spinning. The power supply has not tripped.
Well, and here's the thing. The fans will spin. I've had this happen before, where I've had water spill on the laptop. And while the computer will die, while the image will die, the fans go into fucking overdrive. So the fans will still work, and in fact, they will ramp up faster than you will have ever heard them ramp up before. And I think because it's some kind of like, just like computers having a heart attack trying to overcompensate. So him saying the fan spinning, fully expected when you have liquid damage on, on a computer.
Tripped.
Yeah, despite you spraying directly into the back of it. Bzz, bzz.
Why is there thermal paste all over the CPU?
Linus.
5 hours later, we're coming back to our system that we put inside the Luma field and...
Okay, wow. Did you see that?
Hours later, we're coming back to our system that...
And look at this, so it's not only a trackpad, it's a full-on, like, LCD screen. It might even be a touchpad. That's like someone stuck a fucking phone in here. I am really fucking curious what computer this is. I really am. I've never seen this computer before. This style. Chat. Find out what computer this is for me. Please.
That we put inside the Luma field, and am I expecting there to be anything wrong with it? It didn't even so much as crash.
Well, here's the thing. This blasts X-rays, which I don't know if you've ever been to an airport, but your laptop goes through an X-ray reader every time you go on
Sure,
there.
and as long as your laptop isn't a, analog film camera, then it's probably not going to have an issue with that.
Yeah.
At first. LumaField does publish guidelines for how long is safe to expose electronics to their machine, and they're pretty long, and they're probably padding the estimates.
Yeah, and even if we were trying to guarantee that something went wrong with this, who knows if it would actually affect something that matters on what we're doing on our system.
We saw this actually when we tried to EMP blast literally the RAM chips on a laptop. We had to get right in there. Yeah. They're pretty resilient.
The larger cosmic concern is coronal mass ejections, which are large expulsions of plasma and magnetic field from the sun's corona. These can disrupt telecommunications and navigation systems, even power grids. A malfunctioning power grid is more likely to damage your hardware than particles and X. Well, and that's it exactly. A CT scan is just radiation. Lenovo unveils laptop with second smallest screen next to the keyboard. ThinkBook Plus Gen 3. Okay, Haibo, I'm gonna pull that up afterwards. Yeah. But this is with the CT scan, it's just radiation. It's just X-rays. Whereas coronal mass injections is plasma and it's a magnetic field. Kanito. Seriously? Yeah. This is the quantifying factor here. The magnetic field. So if they really want to do this, they'd have to put it into an MRI, which of course would slam the fucking computer right into its casing. But yeah, X-rays don't do fuck all. I mean, unless you really pound away at it with X-rays over and over and over and over and over again. But this is why this is why solar flares are potentially damaging because of the magnetic field. It's a projection of the magnetic field across great distances. That is far more damaging to electronics.
So if you ever want to bring your laptop to your next CAT scan, you can totally do that. Tell the doctors that we said it was okay. Do you know what else is okay? A segue to our sponsor.
Oh, absolutely, Merlin. Yeah.
Grammarly, the business team at Linus Media Group.
In orbit, you don't have as much protection from the magnetosphere. Earth's magnetosphere is what protects us from things like solar radiation and the magnetic field expansion from a solar flare. In orbit, you don't have that level of protection. So obviously, it's things like satellites don't have protection from it.
Group's day-to-day involves a ton of communication, coordination, and writing. That's where Grammarly comes in. It's an AI writing partner that works where the biz team works. For example, if they need to draft up an email for a project proposal, Grammarly can help come up with initial ideas and can check for clarity and tone and ensure that their email is as effective as it can be. Grammarly also understands the context of their writing and provides high-quality suggestions. After all, sending an email to Colton requires a bit more care than sending Dad a quick thanks. Colton could get you hacked. And you get even more features if you upgrade to Grammarly Pro, with full sentence rewrites to turn long-winded sentences into something more precise. And their App Actions feature lets you stay on track without having to juggle multiple tabs. You can quickly insert links, GIFs, or documents all within Grammarly. Sign up and upgrade to Grammarly Pro today at grammarly.com/LTT10.
If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe check out the one where we used a car radiator to cool a computer. It wasn't successful, but it kind of had the same energy.
Great.
Well, that was very interesting. That was not what I expected, but it was very interesting, I must say. All right, let's